there's a particular kind of silence that happens in a salon chair. The stylist steps back, turns the chair toward the mirror, and for 1 second, before you even see the length or the layers, you already know. You know whether you just spent an hour becoming more yourself, or an hour disappearing into someone else's idea of appropriate. Most women over 60 have felt that second. Fewer know why it goes one way instead of the other. It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's 6 decisions, made with hair, that most stylists never explain out loud. Today you're getting all 6, what they are, why they work on your face specifically, and exactly what to say in that chair so the outcome is never left to chance again. Cut 1. The soft swept crop. Picture a woman crossing a hotel lobby, hair short, chin lifted, moving like she has somewhere important to be. Nobody in that lobby is thinking about her age. They're thinking about her energy. That's the soft swept crop, cut close at the sides, left with movement and lift through the top, swept gently to one side instead of pressed flat. Here's why it works. As hair thins with time, every strand carries less weight, which means long hair increasingly falls flat instead of framing you, it just hangs. Short hair removes that problem entirely, but only if it's cut with lift, not clipped short and left dense and heavy on top like a cap. A crop cut correctly uses weight reduction at the crown so the remaining hair has room to move upward and sideways instead of sitting like a helmet. That movement catches light. Light reads as youth before the brain even registers a wrinkle or a line. Ask your stylist for point cut layers through the crown with a soft side sweep. Say the words exactly like that. It tells them you want dimension, not just short hair. Which brings us to something even more forgiving than short, length that flatters without a single blunt edge. Cut 2. The face framing lob. Somewhere between the salon and the sidewalk, this cut does something almost nobody expects. It makes the jaw look softer and the eyes look brighter at the same time, from a single haircut. That's the lob, a long bob landing near the collarbone, with shorter pieces cut in around the face. The mechanism is simple once you see it. Gravity pulls all hair downward, and past a certain length, that downward pull starts dragging at the corners of the mouth and the outer eye, visually, not physically, but the eye reads it as tiredness. Shorter face framing pieces interrupt that pull exactly where it matters, curving inward toward the cheekbone instead of straight down toward the chin. It's the haircut equivalent of a single, well-placed comma. It changes how the whole sentence reads. Ask for face framing layers starting at the cheekbone, blended, not blunt. That single phrase prevents the flat, single-length version most women get by default. Now, if your hair still has real length and real memory in it, there's a version of this that's even more forgiving. Cut 3. Layered waves past the shoulder. There's an old myth that long hair after 60 reads as trying too hard to hold on to youth. It's the opposite. Long hair worn without any structure reads that way. Long hair cut with intentional, cascading layers reads as ease, as a woman who has nothing to prove. Here's the why. Uncut, one-length long hair behaves like a single sheet, heavy, flat, and completely unmoving no matter how you style it. Layering redistributes that weight through the middle and ends, so the hair moves independently in sections instead of as one solid mass. Movement is the entire trick. Still hair reads as static, and static reads as older. Moving hair reads as alive, no matter the color or the texture underneath it. Ask for internal layering from the cheekbone down, not just the ends trimmed. That phrase is the difference between hair that swings and hair that simply hangs. But there's a texture-driven cut gaining ground right now that works almost like magic on one particular hair type, and it might be the one you've been overlooking. Cut 4. The tousled shag. If your hair has any natural wave or texture at all, this cut practically styles itself, and that alone changes your mornings. The shag layers hair unevenly on purpose, shortest near the crown, longer and feathered at the ends, so it never sits in one flat plane. The reason this reads as youthful comes down to unpredictability. Uniform, symmetrical hair, the same length all the way around, photographs beautifully but moves like a single object. Uneven layering breaks that symmetry, and asymmetry is something the eye associates with spontaneity, not with careful, aging caution. It's the visual language of someone who isn't overthinking her appearance, which, ironically, is exactly what makes her look effortlessly put together. Say this in the chair: feathered, uneven layers, no blunt perimeter. That phrase keeps a stylist from smoothing your shag into a bob by accident. Now, for women who want something with real architecture, something that photographs like a statement, there's a fifth option most stylists rarely suggest first. Cut 5. The graduated bob with volume at the crown. This is the cut that turns heads from behind before anyone even sees your face. Cut shorter at the nape and gradually longer toward the front, with deliberate lift built into the crown, it creates a silhouette that looks lifted and rounded from every single angle, not just the mirror-facing one. Most people only think about hair from the front. But every person you pass on the street sees you from the side and from behind first. A flat back of the head reads as deflated, tired, low energy, even if your front is flawless. Graduation at the back solves a problem you can't even see in your own mirror, which is precisely why almost nobody asks for it directly. Ask for graduated layers at the back with lift at the crown, longer through the front. That sentence alone will separate your cut from the generic, everywhere the same bob. And now, the one insight that changes everything you just heard. Cut 6. The one variable that decides all 5 above, your part. Here it is, the single most powerful, least expensive change you can make to any haircut on this list isn't a cut at all. It's where your part sits. A center part reads as flat and formal on most mature faces, because it splits the crown symmetrically and removes the one thing that creates lift, an off-center break in the hairline. A deep side part, even by half an inch, immediately raises the crown on one side, opens the eye on that side, and softens everything below it. Every single cut above becomes visibly more youthful the moment the part moves. Stylists rarely mention it, because it costs nothing and takes 30 seconds, and somehow, that makes it the most overlooked transformation in this entire list. Ask for a deep side part, root volume boosted on the heavier side. Nothing else needs to change for this to shift how your whole face reads. Here's what all 6 of these share. None of them ask you to look younger by trying harder. They ask you to work with light, movement, and structure the way a well-tailored coat works with your posture, quietly, intelligently, in the background, while you simply walk into the room. The right haircut doesn't announce itself. It just makes people look a second longer, without ever knowing exactly. You don't need all 6. You need one honest conversation with your stylist, using the exact words you just heard, and the confidence to ask for precisely what serves your face instead of what's fastest for the chair. That's the whole difference between a haircut that happens to you, and one you chose on purpose. If this changed how you'll walk into your next appointment, subscribe, because every week, we're here helping